Hello everybody and welcome to the live stream. Hello whoever's in here in the stream watching. Can you hear me alright? I'm going to just switch over to the game and get an audio visual check, please. Let me just bring it up. That should be working now. Brilliant. Yeah, audio visual check, please. Can you hear me alright? Can you see me alright? I'll type it in the box as well. That might be just myself. That's the problem. I don't know. It did say 0 though initially when I first booted this up. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Can you hear me alright? Anyway, until I can only assume I'm getting sound. I'll get my phone out and look at my own stream. What I'll do is I'll go into... Right, so tonight's plan is... I'm going to be playing some more multiplayer. Now, for you peeps that are regular viewers, the only real mod that you need that's off of the mod hub is the mod which I did, which was the the multi-store point, with the version 1.1. I have tried the latest version, but it didn't quite work the way I wanted it to, so I'm sticking with 1.1 for the time being. The rest of the mods are just off the mod hub itself. Right, I'm going to set up the multiplayer. So if I go into multiplayer, create a game, go on to Leadfoot, yep, all those mods please. We won't call it Kev's game, we'll call it Leadfoot. That's where we went wrong last time. And I will put a password in this one, stop this random people just joining on. I'd rather just have people watching the stream passing on, so coming on. So I'm going to put it capital K, capital Y, actually capital Y, capital S, capital Y. Oh, why won't it let me do that? Try that again. Right, capital K, capital S, capital Y, and capital T. So Kevin Sawyer YouTube. Okay. I don't think that makes any difference putting universal plug and play on. It didn't seem to in the last stream, the last time I multiplayed. But anyway, I shall start. Auto accept. I'll turn that on just to save us time. Auto save off. English is good. Continental Europe. Could do it international, but I don't know how well that's going to play out. I'll try it next time. And then I'll go into why there's been some changes in a sec once we get into the map. Oops. My mouse is playing. There we go. Cool. Right. Okay, from the last live stream you saw that things were different. I have a confession. There's been reasons why I haven't been streaming or been doing the videos of this or anything else really. I've been trying to fix the game. Now I have a mission to make. I initially talked to Sinky about a graphics mod which looked pretty good, but meant playing about with the at least one of the files. Now I decided to do that. I thought, yeah, what's the worst that could happen? I won't save the game. It shouldn't do that much damage. I can just pull the mod back out again. So I did it, and then it was like, okay, yeah, it was just too difficult to work with, the mod thing. It was just, I couldn't get my head around it. So I was like, nah, I'm gonna just pull it back out again. And then I was just like, okay, and I was alright for about an hour afterwards, after I pulled it out. And then all of a sudden, about an hour and a half, well, another about half hour after that, I had issues with it. Kept on coming up with a weird dialog box saying, please install full game version here. And I was like, right, okay, that's new. Is it a bug on Giant's part, or is that or is that something else? Now I was just like, okay, I better join the farm one. Actually get my farm. Why does it say my farm? It should be called Leadfoot. Can we rename that? Edit farm. I can put lead. You can put you can change the colour as well if you really wanted to. I'll keep it that. Confirm. Cool. So, anyway, what was I saying? So, it kept on coming up, and I uninstalled the game, reinstalled the game, uninstalled the game, reinstalled the game. Every 25 minutes, bang on 25 minutes, I'd get problems with it kept on coming up the same message over and over again, and it's just like drive me nuts. In fact, I've got to move this tractor out of the way. It's F8, I believe, to reset the track. It's F12 of my to reset track while there. Then it's another F8 to reset. Oh, it doesn't do anything but bring up that. Okay. Okay. Right. Let's pull this out of the way, and I'm going to tidy the yard up a bit while I explain a bit more. Turn it down, my headphone. Seems a bit loud. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. As you can see, this is in a pretty poor state of repair. I'm probably going to be refilling these. And I don't know what happens if they end up with completely out of, well, once they get right down to the bottom of the fix icon. As you can see, this one's getting there. It's only on 0.5 hours on it, but it's getting there. So what happened was, I just went, right. So I had to read some forums, and someone said, oh yeah, delete the save file that you initially played the mod on, because it could be that it's appeared in that somewhere. And I looked at the file itself, and there was something different about it, but I don't know what. And then I was just like, okay, so I did delete that and start a fresh one, and it was alright for an hour. Then I saved and came out the game, and then I was just like, okay, so I fixed it. I thought I fixed it again, and then I was like, right, okay, so I went back and play a bit more to sort of like grind up what I got to, and it's just like, okay, what to do next? Do I get the forklift loading wrong? Right. I just basically had massive issues with it, and it's just like, then I read another forum saying you need to delete it out of the file, which I'd already done. And so I was like, well, there's nothing else I can do. I've busted my game. And I even text Sinky saying, Yeah, I busted 2019. Well, I'm going to give up on 2019 because it's well and truly busted for me now. I've got one or two other things I can try. So I tried like the beta version, the next, well, not beta version, but the I opted into the beta on Steam, and then I had an idea. I was just like, right, okay, I saw someone mention try to check the integrity of the files, and I was just like, so I did it, and it said nothing was wrong. So I was like, okay, and then I thought, hang on a minute, what if I can get the palette off this book without any trouble, actually? What if I delete where the file it was put into onto the and then try and verify the integrity of the files? Because if I delete the whole file, anything that's been popped in there that shouldn't be in there will be gone, and then if it's overridden any sort of like other files at the same time, they'll also be gone. So I did that, and I rechecked the integrity of the files, and it was like brilliant. And then after about half an hour's time, no major issues, no major dramas, and I was just like, yeah, I fixed the game again. It's the first thing I did was it's like texting, I fixed the game. But it's like stupid how there is a moral story. Don't play with graphics mods behind this. Other mods ain't too bad, like placeables. You might get errors, but they're not going to overly affect your game. They're not going to cause your game to do that much damage. That graphics mod. Anyone thinking about using a graphics mod, watching in the stream later, or watching in the archives later on, don't do it. It's just you're asking for trouble. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Don't install it unless you want a headache. Then yeah, install it by all means. Please do. But if you don't want a headache for any bizarre reason, then don't do it. Please, peeps, don't do it. Right, that's done. Let's tidy the yard up. I'll switch the engine off. I might wash this in a minute anyway. I'll show you guys and girls what it looks like before I washed it. I'm going to wash it and then see if we can see any real damage to this thing. I know I'll show you the cultivator. That also needs repairing. I repaired the plough off screen, so that doesn't sound like a pressure washer, I'm sorry, but it sounds more like someone with, you know, those spray cans you can get for water. That's what it sounds like to me. Let's grab a zip of water. That's better. Right, okay. Right. I'll just make sure. Yeah, my mic is on. Anyway, so I don't know whether to repair this or leave it until it breaks. I don't know what happens when these things actually break. I know I can repair it off if I go into the options. So I go into P for purchase and then go into garage. It should come up with a repair icon. So if it does break down and stop moving altogether, I can repair it remotely, which is a good thing. But I'm going to go and put some diesel in it because it needs diesel either way. And I always just wash these when they needed diesel. It's getting pretty low. It's the closest fuel station. Actually, before I do that, I'm dithering. Sorry, peeps. I'll show you what I've done around the farm. So basically, in the last episode or the last playthrough, last live stream, that field over there, we own that field over there, and I think one of these fields over here. Obviously, because I've changed things up, I've made a few changes. Over here, we have grass field. Now you might be thinking, why have you done that? Why on earth have you decided to put grass field there? because it's a small field and it doesn't offer much of a yield anyway, so I figured I might as well put, and it's just a pain to work on as well, so I just figured turn it into a grass field, and then we can cut some grass. I've got a mower, and then we can get some grass ready for cows, horses, all the rest of it, sheep. I've got this field here which is growing but not fully ready yet. Same for this field over here, growing, fully not ready yet. When I bought these, some had sugar beet corn, some other bits and pieces which I sold a little bit off, but it's in the silos. A lot of it's still in the silos to be sold off. I'm just waiting for a good price on it. That's growing as well, and I've got these. They're shown on the map. Look, got pretty much all these fields over here. But the problem is, it takes so long with the small implements to really do these two fields here. It doesn't take too long, but it's this large field over here. It takes the longest. All fields together takes forever. And I'm a poet. I didn't know it. Right. So I'm gonna go and get some diesel for this, and I just hope sounds on. Okay. As soon as someone comes in and say hello, I'm gonna go, hey, can you hear me? I'll just continue on like everything's working alright. Should be alright. Just double check on my settings. Hardware and sound. Yeah, it should be alright. Right, cool. Right, so anyway, what was I doing before I got sidetracked? That's the only problem with tabbing out. Anyone else had that problem? When you tab out, if I go into shop, I'll show you. Once you tab out the game, once you do that, you get this crazy thing where you can't scroll anymore. It inverts the scrolling, and it's a nightmare. Right, let's go and get some diesel. Also, because they've now fixed the bug with the controller support, so now it doesn't forget your settings, which was a pain. Let's find a petrol station. Wrong button. I think there's one. Closest one I can see is right up there. Okay, let's quickly put the problem map. So I have to come down along here and up there. Shouldn't be too... Shush. I'm looking at a map, can't you see? But yeah, so the problem with it forgetting the settings is now gone, thankfully. I've adjusted... I was having problems initially with the settings as well, because it kept on doing something strange to my G27. It was making it so it'd only work sort of like half of the rotation, and if you turned it, it'd like turn almost like full lock, even if you just turned the wheel a little bit. It was a right nightmare. I've adjusted my graphic settings back down to high as well, just because I noticed there's some frame issues on having it on very high. So I've decided to Just go back to high like I normally do. Hi June. So make sure we check we are on the right path. Yeah, we are heading that way, cool. Figured we were. Yeah, is that the petrol? Yeah, it is the petrol station. This is a weird petrol station. I've been up here a couple times now. Because I had that, and again after the update, the Combine had a weird thing. I loaded the game up, and the Combine was out of diesel, and I was like, what? And I'd only used it for less than an hour. I was like, can't be that thirsty. Now, do we refill that way yet? Not too bad fuel costs wise. Right, so I'm going to leave it. I'm going to see what happens when this thing breaks down. Let's see if this thing breaks down. If it doesn't, then we just know. Because I don't know how much chance I've implemented the physics of that whole. Because I know it's probably based off a mod. Off of the. Some of the repair mods used to be able to get on 15 and 17. And if it, once it got to a point, it just wouldn't work anymore. You'd go get in it and it wouldn't start, wouldn't do anything. So it'd be interesting. And again, going back to the wheel, because I had all that problem. I had to basically, how I got around that is I had to go into the G27 settings and de-check the allow games to adjust settings. And then I went into the settings for FS19 and I've adjusted the dead zone, because I noticed there's a huge dead zone in the wheel, massive. You'd have to go a quarter turn before it reacts on the game, and it was getting stupid, especially at high speed. You just had no real precision. And it just like yeah, so I've put it down to no dead zone. I might put a 2% dead zone into it because it's just a bit twitchy. But I've got kind of used to it now. No, it's still just one person watching. Whoever that is, hello. Welcome to the stream. Can you hear me? Can you hear? Is the game visuals alright? Looking at my bottom edge of my stream, it's looking pretty good. Because I can only see the bottom quarter and what's actually going on in my stream. Right, so I'm not going to repair that. I'm going to leave it. Physically, it doesn't look any different to when it was new. There's little bits of wear and tear on the hitches. But other than that, it doesn't look as knackered as if I go over to the... Switch the engine off. If I go over to the cultivator over here, that's the next thing I'll repair actually. Look, this thing looks knackered. And I did repair this, but you can already see it starting to wear on the edges of the... That didn't last very long. That's why I'm thinking about getting another tractor with a slightly bigger plough, although you don't tend to use the plough that often anyway. Let's give this a wash, because actually this is alright for diesel, so I'm going to leave it as is. It's got just under half a tank. I'll leave it till it gets really low. Park it up over here. Now what I could do is do some grass cutting rather than fast forward time. As there's no one, well, there's only one person watching, I'll park it here and just fast forward time to harvest. Leave the grass for another day, because I don't think you get any, once you've weeded it once, I don't think you get any more weeds on it. Some weeds here, don't know what they're there for, but it's good that it tells you the growth state of it. That's one improvement they've made. So it never used to, once you put grass on it, it just wouldn't tell you anything on it at all. Right, so let's fast forward some time. Again, watch some crops grow. It's like, welcome to Crop Growing Simulator with me, Kevin Sawyer. looks like we've got clouds coming in. I'll probably do what I'll do is I'll probably... Oh, it's grown. Ready to harvest, but I suspect that's only just ready, yeah. So looking at that, yeah, it's only just in the bottom there. I find if you wait until it gets right up to the... Here, this colour, it's orange. You find that you get a better yield out of it. The old growth status used to be more handy because it used to tell you what percentage it was at. It used to say 10%, 30%, 100% ready. But it's good that they've incorporated this field info on. It's a good idea. If you build it, he will come. Got my torch still. So I've got mainly wheat just all grown here. I can still see the child tracks where I was driving in and out of it. It should grow back over time. Run! I should have grabbed the dog. Run around with the dog for a little while. Give the dog a walk while we're waiting for the thing. Is, I think the dog falls to sleep at a certain time. Just run. I figured out since the last stream as well. You can't get him into the back of the pickup. I've seen someone's already made a mod, but they haven't made it publicly available where you can actually get him to jump into the back of the truck by making him jump and stuff. Where's he gone? He's gone. I'll feed him. He'll turn back up then. So we find out he doesn't appear in multiplayer. No, he doesn't appear in multiplayer. That's new. I thought he would. Oh well. Okay. I guess there's a reason why. Or someone's stolen him. Well, not. Someone's secretly stolen my dog. No! I still haven't got a name for the dog yet. Right. Run, Forrest, run. I've got my new chair as well. As we're waiting, I don't think it's going to get any comfier, to be honest. I think it's a rubbish chair at the moment. This is what's going through my mind. Purely because the padding isn't all that thick. For what I paid for it, it wasn't a cheap chair either. It was £79. I'd say that's more or less ready, but I'll wait until the next morning to do it. Nope. No, then again, it's not yet. So, for 79 quid, I was like, oh, it shouldn't be too bad, but it's no more comfortable at the moment. No more comfy than my old chair. It used to take the same amount of time frame before my sort of bum started to complain that I'd been sat on the chair for too long. Sort of like after about 2 hours or so, it just then goes, nope, get up, need to walk around. And I'm just like, and I was just like, yeah, really? It's good. It's got sort of a bit of lumbar support, but it's not adjustable, so it's not really on the right point of my back. It's just about nearly where the lumbar would need to be, but it needs to be slightly higher. But because I'm not a heavyweight person, I'm actually underweight for my size. I'm 6'1", and I'm 11 and well, just under 12 stone, 11 and a bit stone. And I remember someone saying I was dangerously underweight. And I am really. I've probably lost a bit as well over the last couple of days. I haven't been eating a great deal. I've been sort of like trying to fix this and doing other bits and bobs at the same time. So that's why I'm not going to stream for very long tonight. I'm probably going to stream to about 8ish, and then I'm going to go off and grab something to eat, and maybe after I've eaten I'll do some recordings for the rest of the week, depending on how I feel. I haven't done any recordings either. I've just been so busy waiting for Or trying to fix this and other bits and pieces. But I'm hoping the chair, again, feeling the fabric, I don't feel it's going to get any better because it's not very thick fabric at all, and if I press down on it I can feel the base of the chair, and that's never a good sign. It's never a good sign. Wage payment, property maintenance. See how the crops are doing. Oh, they're getting there. They are getting there. They're in the middle state at the moment. By the morning they should be fully grown, hopefully. It's like everyone's like thinking, oh, what is this? Watch Crop Simulator or something. And I figured out something with the grass as well. If you put grass in, the only way you can weed it, you can't spray it even when it's slightly grown. You have to use the weeder. It's the only way you can get to weed it. So if anyone else has had that problem and wondered what was going on, that's the only way around it. Actually, while there's that, I can fix. Actually, I can do it remotely, can't I? If I go into my no, it's a bit of a lazy means grabbing the tractor and everything. Garage. Might as well repair this as well. Get that fully repaired. Wow, really? No, I don't want to sell it. I want to repair it. I know it wasn't that badly damaged, but might as well get it fully repaired, ready for the next time around. So now look at it. It looks all shiny and clean again. I don't know. I don't think it has any effect on the performance of the machine being broken like that, because when using this, it said 0% on it, and I was like, but it's still cultivated. It's not like smashed up or it says no longer able to cultivate because the cultivator's broken. So what I'll do is while that's harvesting, I'll get the I'll do some runs using that and get some straw in as well, because obviously if I had to restart and got no straw. We've got 2 people in. Welcome to the stream. Can you hear me? Can you see me? I can see the video content because I haven't got it playing back. I don't want to obviously hear myself in my own headphones. Oh, back to 1. So I scared him. Oh, run away. Right, so we're fairly, so we can reduce time now. I'm gonna use this one to do the carting because it's in a worse state. That way if it breaks down I'm not halfway through doing something. And it's clean now. So what I'll do is I'll take off the care wheels now. I've put a workshop over here just purely because, like I said, I hate the care wheels. Well, I don't hate them, it just always it just boggles my mind how the thing stays upright. I don't know how wood farmers, again, anyone watching in the stream and anyone watching in the archives later on can let me know. But would farmers actually use these because I could only see them using them for road use, because they're probably less noisy than the other types of traditional tractor wheels or tyres. But would they use them on the fields? That's what I want to know. Right, let's grab the trailers. jump up onto this. As well, wish I'd follow me. You don't have to ride that far anyway, you have to drive over to this field here. Park it up over here. Turn it off because we don't need it on just yet. I'm just wasting diesel too. Grab the John Deere over here. Fire it up. Oops. So quiet I didn't even realise I'd turn it on. Right, oops. Right, back out. But grab the trailer first. Allow for chaff or allow for swarf. Again, I'm just going to park this. Where can I park this? Just out the way. Don't drive on the field. Drive about on the grass. Doesn't matter too much. Well, you do. And that's still too close, so reverse that out. Drive that round here. Grass regrows over time. In fact, we didn't actually go very far with it at all. Now I'm thinking about it. Should have just grabbed it off the back of the trailer. Now this annoys me. I don't know if it annoys you guys and girls, but this is a bit pedantic now. It's something I hope they fix. It's just you've got to be right bang on the button for it to pick up. See what I mean? I know I'm not exactly square to it. It should sort of pick it up a bit easier than that. Actually, this doesn't destroy the grass that much. The trailer might do. No, it destroys the crops if you're not careful. Let it do its funky thing. And I'll get the dirts and the loading wagon and go behind it and collect the straw. Don't need the... well, I should put the work light on, I guess. Connect. I like what they've done with the lights and interior lights in this. It looks pretty cool actually. Light effects creep me out. It's like, oh my god, the tractor's on fire for a second then. Now this should make tyre tracks. Although I've got the care wheels on. This back hasn't though. Won't destroy the straw if I run over it too much then. I'm way off there. I'm probably missing bits. Yeah, I am missing bits. Tried driving inside the tractor. I tend to find I load a bit. Well, I find it easier to collect when I'm inside the tractor than when I'm outside the tractor actually. As long as you keep the nose pointed roughly in the middle of the pile. Good to go. Is that guy already out filling up straw? Wheat. It's got these lights on, but did I leave them on? I might have left them on, yeah. God, the light's bright from that. If you can tell, this thing has got no horsepower. Hardly no horsepower. Because it's struggling on this task. I don't know if that's because, again, the damage factor or not. I don't know if that has any bearing on what you do. Go rolling down here pretty quick. Again, this all come in handy for the cows and stuff. If I'm doing mixed feed, that's the next real major two mods. I'm really gonna, if I'm going to introduce mods onto this, there'll be course play and some sort of placeable mixed feeder. As for aspects, because Sinky the other day asked me, am I going to turn this, is this going to become a server farm? And I turned around and said to him, look, yes, if I get over at least 1,000 subscribers, so then at least then I can sort of start pouring some of the money I get back, or get some of the money, some of the little money I get from YouTube, back in onto the server, so paying for the server stuff and etc, etc, etc. Hello, welcome to the stream. How's you? Key, please. Key for what? Can you hear me, or can you see me? Can you hear me? The audio visual's alright? Soon find out. Key to the game? Or key to password to get into the server? Or not the server, but onto the multiplayer. Still unloading. It's gone quiet, definitely quiet. What's the key to the city? Sorry, I'm not the mayor. Like the mayor's packet, but I'm not the mayor. He's at 80% full, so we'll grab this. 3 drives. Come on, Fent, move. 3 drives into the crop. Do not turn. Thank you. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Okie dokie. Oh. Huh? Right. Well, at least he's tipping it into the trailer. Okay, so technically it would be tipping it over the side of it at the same time, but we've got 3 people watching now. Hello, welcome to the stream. Can you please tell me if you can hear me alright? You can see the game. I know you can see the game alright. Can you hear me alright? Because I don't know, because I haven't got myself playing back. So I'll find that disconcerting trying doing that. Right, let's park this over here where the work's already technically done. Not in that one, this one, not that one, this one. No, not that, this one. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so once get over 1,000 subscribers, once that happens, and I'm getting good solid sort of like views in, and I mean more than 10 to 20, at least 100 views in per thing I do, then I'm seriously going to consider bringing Matt Ledfoot. I'm going to build up a good admin team first, though, because obviously we need a good admin team for it to work. Someone's going to be not in it 24/7. I don't expect that, but more often than not, because at least then it just makes it more easy to manage. I don't know what Mr. Dagger Wynn does, whether he pays his admins to do the admin work. I doubt it. He seems too tight-fisted to do that. He probably just gives them shout-outs and stuff. Oh, this thing's struggling for power again. I don't know if that's again because it's down to the tractor beam's broken as it is, or it's just because this thing hasn't got much horsepower. It's because we're on a slight incline. Back to one person watching again. Whoopie-doo! It's a problem now. Weldon's wife's playing this. You don't get many. Even like the big people. I've seen, like, if you look at okay, before this came out, the Northern Alex was averaging sort of like 120, 130 people watching his live streams on this, and as soon as this came out it went down to about 60, 70 people. I was like, yeah, because the world his wife's already playing it, no one really wants to watch it anymore, and that is the downside. I think that ruins it in one aspect, because people start already, it kind of helps people, it hinders people at the same time, because I think people that generally want to watch it can watch it anyway, and they don't fancy playing. They can watch someone else playing it. But it sort of like gives away all the stuff, and people don't get so surprised. That's why I didn't watch many of his pre-release live streams. I only watched one or two, just to see how the frame rates were on his. Because after a last live stream, I was in there with him talking. Well, not talking to him directly, to asking him just general questions, and I was saying to him, you know, how old was his PC, you know, and there's like he's got a slightly better spec than my old rig. He's obviously spent a bit more money, but he's about the same age as mine is. Well, it's about a year older actually, I think, or a year younger. I can't remember. Either way, my downfall, again, as most of you peeps know, is the main boards. The problem on this now, the main board and the CPU. That's the main problems on this now, because they're just so old. The GPU's all right. I could spend money on another one, but they're quite mega money now, because obviously from Bitcoining, that's the price of graphics processor or graphics card is shot through the roof. I thought about doing that with my old bits of my old PC, so I've still got my old graphics card unit, although it wouldn't really get me a great deal. I'd have to plug it into an old board of some sort and get it to work and have it on 24/7. You have to do certain things, and it's quite risky. It's not as straightforward as people think it is, and someone sort of like told me how it all works, and it's went over my head. I was just like, really? Okay, yeah. Excuse me while I have a bit more drink. Thank you, Welch. Right. Keep the old throat lubricated. I find if I do that, I don't cough so much. If I sound a bit nasally, for those people that may be wondering. Again, my sinuses are playing up, but I think I've also got a cold because today, whilst I was out and about, I had a bit where I felt lightheaded, and I'm just like, oh, okay. Again, that might be down to the fact that I haven't been eating much. Probably hasn't helped. But I felt really lightheaded, and was just like, whoa, okay, I need to sort of like take a step back and stop moving around so much now, because I do suffer from hypoglycemia. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's basically, it's a bit like diabetes but not as bad. What happens is, if I don't eat, or if I eat rubbishly foods, I tend to, although I do eat rubbishy foods, which probably doesn't help it much, but if I don't eat at all, my blood sugar sort of drops through the floor, and then I just get really shaky, like if I'm gonna feel lightheaded. So it could have been that, but I don't know for sure. And then I've just felt like I had a head cold. Even though, you know, when you feel like you got a head cold, you know you've got a head cold. So that's probably why I'm sounding a bit more congested than normal. How's that combine doing? Let's have a quick look-ski. Is he full? I'd say he's full. Yeah. Right, I need to bring him out of the grain though, to empty him. That's the downside of not having. Let's turn the beacons off while I'm at it. Let's grab this. Gone quiet, sorry peeps. Just concentrating on what that might be full now. So let's grab over this one. That's getting really, really low on the old maintenance side now. I think you can check that out in the, if you look in, which one? This one, is it? That one. John Deere. And the fence should be the one that's in red. Yeah, it was in red right at the bottom. It's at 13%. Right, cool. The only decent thing I'd say about this chair that I've got, and as I say, the only saving grace I've got about it, is that the arms are foldable, so I can fold the chair arms up if I don't want the arms. And although the backrest, the lumbar support is really in the wrong place, or rather it was slightly higher up my back, it's a mesh back, so then it doesn't get so hot. Though my bum gets really hot, the back doesn't, so I shouldn't sweat so much. during the summer if I keep it that long. But I don't think I will. If I'm going to, I'm going to have to get a cushion for it. This seems ridiculous for a chair that's like 80 quid. Right, back to what I was doing. At least you guys can't say I don't do my own work on the farm. I do. I'm a lazy farmer, I admit, but all the time there's something to do. I thought about just recording this and just keeping this as just, but then I figured, nah, I'll do a live stream for a little while. I can fit a lot more into a live stream than if I can, you know, if I'm actually just recording. So as you guys and girls know, I tend to keep it for a half hour each time unless something happens, overruns. Hello Gaming Kev, how's you? And can you hear me? And how's the visuals? I see they're working, but can you hear me? That's the main question. Farm manager is a challenge. Ah, cool. Thank you very much, sir. Because I've been asking people that are coming in and going, and they haven't been answering. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna have to assume it is. It's not too loud, is it? I have slightly tweaked with it because I noticed in the last live stream it was really loud. The problem is, in my editor, I can adjust it. I can tweak it down if I'm a bit too loud, but I can't when I'm live streaming. I can tweak it on my expert, but. Oops, and I'm driving like a lunatic or drunk man. If you want to jump on, Kev, this is multiplayer, by the way, or because you went in here earlier, if you look for Leadfoot, because it's the name of the farm, and then the password is capital K, capital Y, capital capital K, sorry, capital S, capital Y, and capital T. So K. S-Y-T. So Kevin Sawyer YouTube pretty much. What am I doing? I'm going back in there. Right. If you want to join. If you don't want to join, don't. There is no worry, but it is multiplayer. How's that combine doing? That's what I was going to check on. Right, I'm going to grab the fence and grab the fence over here and go up to the other end of the field, and that way I can unload him while he's on the move. Put some sort of lighting on. Beacon on as well. £10 million. Yeah, I've got, actually, I admit, I've got one. I've cheated. I did cheat one, just for mod testing mainly. But I've seen sort of people cheat it. I've seen people sort of like find ways and means of, because I've seen that one where they, if they go into multiplayer, they can sort of open 7, 8, 9 farms, and then go back in single player, and then all the money's combined together. And Which is fine, but then it just ruins the game for anyone that wants to play it legitly. I can see benefits in both ways. It does take a long time to sort of like grind through the gears and get some real serious money together to get some good tractors. That's something else I can't understand as well, why the II just sits like that. The only mod you will need, Gabe and Kev, is if you look on my last mod showcase, the version 1.1 of that multi-storage thing I did, that's the only outside mod that you need. All the other mods are on the mod hub. The rest of them are in-game, so to speak. That's full. Oh yeah, I forget if you... There we go. What's it? Back. Grain door. That's it. Cool. Cool beans. Close the dialogue box. Drive back over here. Park it just out of the way where we're working. I suspect that combine's probably more or less done this field anyway, by lots of things. Yeah, I think he's sort of given up over here, by the looks of it. Am I enjoying it without cheating? Admittedly, yes and no. Obviously, there's times I wish I could just cheat some money in and then think, right, I just want that tractor and make life a bit... Like at the moment, it took me, because of obviously all the problems I had initially with the original save game, because I kind of broke the game as well. It took me like, I think, was it 4 hours just to get back to some sort of point where we had enough, something to harvest on the save point. But again, it just each their own. So for my mod maps, and then I always cheat it. I just hack it and then put money in, just because it makes life a lot easier. And sometimes when I just don't want to, when I just want to just kick about, and I just want to muck around on FS, and I just want to see what the equipment is, or I just want to chillax, and I don't want to worry about money too much of it, and I can buy whatever I want. Then I just play on a cheated map, or one I've cheated money into. Because then you can just buy anything you need, rather than go, oh yeah, I haven't got enough money for a forager, or I haven't got enough money for this or that, or whatever you need. Jump back in cab. But how's you keeping anyway, gaming Kev? How's life treating you? Yeah? Keeping yourself busy? I'm not collecting, am I? No, idiot. Try again. Have you broken? Have you got the repair right down to 0 on any of these tractors yet? Do they break down? Because I don't know. This is what I'm lobbing to find out. Because I know if the cultivators and ploughs, like I was saying earlier, the cultivators and ploughs, they still work. They just look really knackered. Not yet. No, that's what I'm trying to figure out. With the this one's quite low. It's not as bad as the Fent. Fent's really low. This is still relatively in the green. It hasn't gone right to red yet. That's why I just opted to use this rather than use the other one for carting. Oh, it's finished collecting. That's why it's driving quickly. It's like, huh? Where have I got this power boost from? But as for the game aspects of things, if I hadn't played 17, I'd say this is amazing. Because I've played 17, I just think it's what 17 should have been. That's what goes through my mind every time I play this. You know, if this was 17, then I'd be amazed. Oops. So I just kicked my controller. Not controller. My button box. I don't tend to use my button box on this, as you know. Although now they've sorted out the issues with the controller problems. I still haven't plugged it in because it was seeing my sim dash as a controller, and I'm like, it's not a controller. It just picks up signals. It doesn't send the signals out. Oh, it's missed a bit over here. I should get it back over here at one point. Right. Yeah, no, there's lots of things they've pulled over on this. As I say, I know this is, some people are going to think this is a harsh, but I think they released a non-finished game, really. They just went, oh yeah, this'll do, it's playable, let the modders do all the rest, and then we're just, any mods we think are amazing, we're put into 2019, or 2020, is it 2020, whenever the next one is, 2022, I think it is, 2021. It's every 2 years, isn't it? So yeah, or 4 sometimes. It used to be every, I think it used to be every 4 years when. Oh, why is it not collecting? Have I got it? It's lowered. Is it on? Or is it not lowered? It's not lowered. Is it lowered? It's lowered now. And it's on now. Right, cool. Third time's a charm, yay! Now it's going slow like it should. As I say, it's like with the what else have they borrowed from 2017? They borrowed. It's like going back. There's like, well, if you look at, you say with the 2015, that was a good example, because what was before? Was it 2012 before 2015? Or was 2011? I can't remember now. But the biggest mod of that previous version was being able to cut trees, because I remember it came out and then everyone was downloading it, and it was like every day you'd see it was a top downloaded mod, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a pretty cool mod. And I think that's why they pinched it for 15. It's just like, yeah, okay, we'll put that into the next game. And that's what they do. I think that's what I personally think they do with Giants. I think they look at the mods that come out, see what the most popular mods are. They probably go around asking people as well, what's your most favourite mod, etc, 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 and whatever sort of keeps and be repeated, they'd probably get one of their people to download it, have a look at it, break it down, see how playable it is, and how, if it breaks or not, and then they'll just tweak of it enough so then the original modder can't recognise it if they ever decide to sort of like explore the game, and then they just claim it's their own work, which is wrong, really. But go and check if that combine's alright in a sec as well. I'm driving quick, which means it's full. So I'm just looking at what he's saying, but so yeah, I you know, some people would probably disagree with me, farming simulator fanatics, but I've seen a lot of people say exactly the same thing. It's like, yeah, Giants released a turd. They released a half-finished game. They've released lots of swear words and everything else. And it goes through my mind is, why did they? Because they had all those. They had what, at least 2 weeks before releasing the game, with top-end YouTubers testing it or playing it. Why did they not sort of speak to the YouTubers at the time and go, look, can you just tell us if you come across any bugs or anything else? Or even if they didn't want to do that, they could have sort of like did like a closed beta of certain people they know, top-end modders or top-end whatever. Even if it's top-end YouTubers, on a sort of like on a disclaimer that they get to have an early look at the game and play the game earlier than anyone else. They didn't fix nothing. It's like, so I'm sure most of the YouTubers would have had the same problem as we did when we plugged it in and went, why is this doing what it's doing? And it's because it's key binding everything to the same keys and then forgetting all the keys, and then every time you go back into the game, you know, that's a day one thing that they could have got fixed quite easy. And I see on the forums a lot of people are having problems with it. And it's like, really? Considering it's not like their first attempt at making the game either, is it, really? And I think it's still if memory serves me right, it's still the same engine they're using from before, so they can't say, oh, it's because we use a new graphics engine. We don't know what its capabilities are, and so they're going to have to find bugs. Yeah, it's playable. It's just it just annoys me that they launched it with so many bugs. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people on the recommendations on the Steam page saying I wouldn't recommend purely because it's full of bugs. And I'm glad they fixed the controller issue, although every now and again it still keeps on assigning my joystick to open sort of like menu, and I can't change that. It says, oh, in order to change this you need to reset the settings, and I'm like, no, I don't want to be doing that, thank you very much. But one tip of advice, because you weren't here earlier, I know I'm going over this again for the people watching in the archive. Do mods do not download, Kev. Do not download any graphical enhanced mods. I did that and I broke the game. I talked about it earlier, but I won't go back over it again. But it took me a while. I'm gonna probably do a video on how to fix it. But that's it, the little short video. How maybe to fix it, I should say, not to actually fix it, because it might not work on every one's. Because I know the disc version is different to the Steam version, and the downloaded directly from Giants is different from the disc version. Everything else, well, yeah, I'm picking up. Cool. Got 4 people watching. Hello everybody in the stream. Please keep good old Kev company in there. Keep away from, yeah, admittedly the only mods I'm really, let's say, all the only mods I've got on here is that silo one which I covered, and all the rest of them are just the Giants mods inside the game anyway, so they should be relatively safe. I say should be relatively safe. But like, yeah, I'm sticking away from mods because it's missed a bit again. Because obviously the more mods you get, the more it starts slowing things down too. You're more likely to get problems. Again, there's going to be a few weeks where all these brand new mods that are popping up are not being really, I'd say, proof tested. I tested that silo one for at least an hour, see if there was any problems with it before I did the review on it. I saved the game, come out, come back in, make sure there wasn't any corruptions in the save, etc, etc. That's again why I have the mod testing map, so that way if I break it, it doesn't matter, I can just start a new one. How's that combine doing? I'll wait till I get to the bottom of this hill to find out. Stop! Where's the combine? Oh, he's not doing too bad. I'm going to go and empty him anyway. It's a matter of course. The wrong one. I need to fend. This one. Just so then I don't have to worry him for a bit. Well, he's got his beacons on. Why? Sure he's got his beacons on. He has got his beacons on. Come on, Fent. Climb! 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 It's because I've got 2 trailers on the back of it, I know. But asking a lot of this Fent. I've asked a lot of it pulling that plough behind it. Ploughed all 3 fields with it. That's why it's so knackered, I think. Come on, come on. There you go. Well, don't back up, don't back up. Oh. I don't know when that's full. It looks empty anyway, I think. I hope it's empty. Well, not going to know until we get track around again. Another thing that's a bit weird, the AI traffic just stopping there. I know they've reprogrammed the way the AI work, but it's a bit overkill. The combine's nowhere near the road, but it still stops and beeps at you. No, this is my field. To say, I said earlier, I had to, because because I broke the save game. Well, I didn't break the save game. I had to read because I broke the game with that GPS. Well, not GPS mod, but the graphics mod. I then had to sort of fix it again. I will do, as I say, I'll do a video on how to fix it if you inadvertently break. Hopefully, how to fix it. Fix mine anyway, because I was getting a weird message saying you get the full version of the game here. I was like, what on earth? Why is it saying that? So once I restarted the game, I decided rather than do silly things like spend lots of money on big tractors, I bought small tractors and small equipment, and then bought 3 big fields instead, or biggish fields, 4 fields I think I've got. What fields have we got? I'll show you. Field 20, that's all grass. Field 19, 18 and 17. Oops. Go back to the wheel. Yeah, peeps, everyone in the stream, keep good old Kev company there. Don't be shy, he doesn't bite. Right, where did we get to? I think on this one, I'm not sure. Whoa. Drive straight, Kev. That's the downside of tweaking the controls. It's a bit oversensitive, but I'd rather it oversensitive than undersensitive, you know what I mean? Come on. Come on, Dirts, climb the hill. I could get out and walk quicker than this. I'm just having to tie a big trailer full of, well, not full of straw, but nearly full of straw. Come on, Dirts. Almost over the hill. I like this. I still like this this field because it kind of goes all the way over the hill. Probably be a nightmare in real life to actually farm on it, but again, that's one of the few things I do. Like I said in the last stream, I do like the fact that they introduced the way that the grass, well, as part of the crop destruction. Again, that's a mod they borrowed, the crop destruction mod. Don't know who originally first made the crop destruction mod, but again, it originally started life as a mod. Oops, hold on. Back up. Stop. Oh, and again, driving like a lunatic. Nothing new there. That's why I call it lead foot. I've got lead foot. The farm's got a lead foot. Anyone who drives on the farm's got lead foot. Especially me. Didn't really look where I was going now. I didn't check the road. Just jumped out. I don't own this field, I know. I'm just driving across to this side, lining myself up straight. Check the combine. Just line myself up with that swarf. And check how the combine status is. Where I wish I'd glance or whatever it is, so I know where is the combine? It's over there. Oh, it's stopped, and it's in the grain, so I'm gonna have to pull it out. put it a bit closer to the combine, and then I'll jump out. You'd have thought they'd have integrated that into it, and courseplay. Dismiss worker hire. They've adopted some sort of their own version of courseplay into the mix. Probably because there's somewhere along the lines there's a copyright on courseplay, I suspect. And they've probably got an official copyright on it, so if anyone does copy it, they can probably get done for it. Right, that's done. Emptied. Let's put it round. Let's drive over here now, because I can't get away of doing that whole being nuts and driving like a lunatic on a field of crops. Oh no, I've not tried the cotton yet. I was going to try that the other day on my mod testing farm, but I've planted it, but I haven't actually harvested it yet. I've done it over the trucks, destroy it, when you drive the truck over it to collect the bales. I suspect it would do, because the truck should technically destroy the crop, because it hasn't got care wheels on it. Go, tractor, go. Oh, really? Second, then I thought it broken down or something. Just taking a long time to climb. Mind you, I don't think there's care wheels that help on it. I should really swap them out. It might get me better traction if I put proper tyres on it. I'll do that next time I'm drafting the actual workshop. Oh, deviating. Take a picture there, I think. There we go. Deviating. Also, I know this sounds crazy. I bought a train set to have a go on. I'm not sure whether to do an unboxing for it or not, but it might be a while before I get around to doing it. It's just a little one I bought from Lidl's for about 50 quid. I was like, yeah. I see so many people doing unboxings. I don't know, I'm not sure whether to do it or not. I'll get like a baseboard or something together. Or again, what's going through my mind is I might just go around looking on eBay, buying parts, buying more random train sets. I would like to go. It's just an analog set. It's not a DCC set. I'd really like to go down DCC. If I'm going to get back into it properly, that's what I'd want to do. Get back into DCC. Rather than the analog stuff, because it's just one you can just program the stuff a lot better. You got a lot more functions like lights and sound. The trains carry a certain speed, you can keep them at a certain speed rather than just guesstimate what speed they're doing. All that good stuff. a drink while I'm at it. I'm waiting for that to unload. That's better. Keep the old throat lubricated. It's a shame the dog doesn't appear on the multiplayer. I can understand why they haven't done it, because then it would be like people would be stealing it, all sorts of crazy stuff, I suspect. Or they just couldn't implement it into the game. Multiplayer. Customise. No, I don't want that. Just standard ones, please. Confirm, okay. I'll put wheel weights in it. I didn't really want to do that. Oh well. It's going to be even heavier now. I've also had the birds just randomly appear in front of me as well. It's like, really? They couldn't fix a glitch like that out? It's nice that they've added it in, I guess. See how the combine's doing before we do any more work. That's almost full, so I don't know if I'm going to get there in time with the trailer. In fact, I should really go and empty these. And empty a little bit, maybe. If not, no, I'm not going to make it, so I might as well just empty it. Go and empty this, right. N. Can't see through the sun. G. N. Make sure they are covered up. Yeah. I'm looking forward to courseplay coming out on this. Make life a lot easier. Well, for multiplayer and for... Mind you, saying that, would it... I don't know, again, I don't know how courseplay works on multiplayer. I know in 2017 it become multiplayer friendly, because the problem is they couldn't implement it before, but just at the end of 17 they managed to do it, didn't they? Right. Unload says me. G. Unload. Gonna have a lot of harvest after all this. How are we doing price wise for wheat? See, no, it's not great. I'll wait until see that it's on a. See, 732 is not bad actually. I might sell that one a lot at one point. Come on. Thank you. Should go back out here, but it doesn't matter. Grass regrows. Let's cut across there. Can't be far off of braking now, this fen. Hey Kev, do you remember the old Fent I used to drive around in, was it 2015? The one that used to have the lamination on it. I think it was the Vario or whatever it was. Oh, I might be able to get to the pipe from here actually. That was probably my favourite tractor. I've been looking to see if anyone's done a remake for 7 to 19, but it used to get a bit repetitive jumping in there a little bit. There's something else they didn't actually do in this game, is put animation of jumping in and out of the tractor. Again, there's something they could have done. Again, people find it get a bit boring over time, but there could have been an option for it. Right, I can now go back over here. Use the momentum to push me up the hill. Not very far, but get up there just enough. Actually, I'll probably meet him down the other end. What, this old fent on there? They're not a bad little tractor. I prefer using the older tractors, admittedly. That's why I enjoyed doing the classic farming. Again, they Fiat, I think that was another mod from somewhere. I remember seeing that as a mod in 17. They should have utilised some of that actually, the fact that they incorporated all the engine dynamics in. So I doubt you can see the engine moving on this one. No, you can't, we can see it's just about to see griddle. Yeah, you can see the rad. That's it. I'm looking through here, can't see a fan behind that or anything. Again, modders will probably utilise that, hopefully. Right, back to what I was doing. Now, was this all done? Can't remember now. On this side, or was this still a bit on the other end side of the hill? Running up the hill. I'll be running up the wall. Can't get copyright strike for bad singing. You got a copyright strike because that's bad singing. Sounded remotely like Kate Bush. Oh, I know I don't own this field. Shush. Come on, Paul! That's the downside of smaller tractors. They don't have much grunt. On a hill anyway. Fine on a flat, but on a hill, it's a bit of a struggle. Should have a bit more traction now we've got the bigger tyres on. But I'm missing bits, I'm going to be missing bits. Revving the nuts out of it just to keep it up the hill. I don't think traction is a problem, I think it's just weight. Not spinning tyres. Come on, old girl, up the hill you get. That's it, it'd be like roller coaster time now. Here we go. Almost at the crest of the hill, it's going to be like whee. Arms up, out of the cab. Whee. Here we go. Welcome to Farming Roller Coaster Simulator with me, Kevin Sawyer. Right, spin. Use the momentum to pick me up the hill again. I'm not going to stop. I want to wait until we... No, it's going to slow down anyway. Poor old dirts. See, this is getting lower now. Look how the old symbol's now in the red. When I first started streaming, that's still in the green. These things do not like being worked. Do not like being worked hard at all. We're lightweight tractors. We just like to look pretty. We don't like to actually do any farming. You expect us to pull that plow? I'm just a little tractor. I can't pull a plow. Actually, one thing I was a bit disappointed about with the horses, why I couldn't implement it. I'm hoping someone brings that mod where you can actually use a horse to pull a plow. Although again, it's even crueler than I think it is with the horseback riding and stuff like that. Because when I see horses, I admire them from afar. I don't have the overwhelming urge to jump on them and ride them anywhere. I just think, right, I'd like to pet one. I like to pet them when I see them in the stable or whatever. You pet them, but you just want to see them out running free rather than. New Forest is the funniest. When I was in, never forget when I was in New Forest that time. I was in a pub, and I was sitting by the window, and I had a pint of cider there. It was a lovely hot summer's day, and a pint of cider, and that over my shoulder, this horse just drops its head and starts drinking the cider. I'm like, whoa! It's like you can't exactly argue with a big horse. No, just let it drink the cider. So I just petted it while it drank my cider. It was like, you owe me a pint there, horse. It just sat there and then let us all pet it, and then it just got bored and walked away. But seeing him run free is much more rewarding than watching them just jumping across these. That I always found the horse racing the worst. I say horse racing is the worst, world's worst, because it's just, you know, I can understand why people do it and people bet on it and stuff like that. There's obviously a lot of money involved with horse racing, but I just think it's overly cruel, especially if the horse trips and falls, because no longer racing horse. If it's badly injured, they just shoot it rather than think, right, I'll just let it go out the stud or whatever. I think, right, just shoot it in the head. It's not worth wasting the money on it. I always thought that was cruel. With the show jumping side of it, I think they're a bit more kinder towards them. But again, I always just figured, you know, a horse naturally wouldn't want to be doing that anyway. It's finished on this field, cool. We'll empty it out. Actually, is there any bits it's missed? Double check a bit, make sure it's not missed any bits. Like it did on that previous field. Not yet. There is no course play for 2019. They're working on it. I've seen people saying they're working on it. Because the people that developed, I don't know. Well, initially it used to people that developed courseplay are the same people that worked on cattle and crops. I don't know if it's still the case or not. I know they're working on it from what I can see. Line that up. I don't know if I'm going to bother with a straw on this one. I think we've got enough. How much straw have we got? There's another good thing about this multi-lager. Well, I call it multi-lager, multi-store point. It gives you... It brings it up on here. It should do anyway. Yeah, fair amount. Fair amount of straw indeed. See, the only place that sells that's the barn. I think after I finish that field, there's going to be enough. So I'm going to just let just to speed the process up. I'm just going to let it just cut that one. At least we don't have to bother with chop straw mod now. Though saying that, probably the chop straw mod was actually better. But that's not done a bad... It's not a bad attempt at doing chop straw from Giants. Again, being fair to Giants, as I try to be fair and impartial. Come on, Fan, up the hill. If I drive it right down to the other end of the field, I'll see how the combine's doing once it gets to that end. Okay, cool. Oh no, so I think it's the... whatever, I've seen the forums. I've seen lots of different forums saying they're developing it, etc, etc. Oh, that didn't work, no. I was going to see how full it was, but... don't really matter. I'll empty it and check it again once we get down there. I'm surprised again Giants didn't implement some sort of form of glance into this. Or, you know, inspector mod. That's another good one. It's annoying some days, inspector mod. Glance, I've never really worked with glance. I probably will do this time around. Once that comes out, I'll probably put glance on as a mod as well, because it just makes life a lot easier knowing what the combine's doing. Mind you saying, once course play's up and running, I won't need to worry so much anymore. And the downside of course play obviously is with crop destruction on. Course play used to destroy half, and 17 course play would just destroy your crops. Unwillingly, but they would just destroy your crops. Let's just quickly see how much that combine is full by the time it reaches the other end of the field, and I can gather yeah, I saw something about a beta. I don't know if that's some version 5 beta. I don't know if again that says something about 17 on it or 19. Hello Sinky, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I've got it working. Yeah, got it working. It's not broken anymore. It's working fine. I haven't got the problem that I had the other day with it. This is multiplayer, by the way. If you want to join, like I said to Kev earlier, if you look up, it is this time it is Leadfoot, not Kev's game. But there is a password which is capital K, capital Y. No, sorry, I keep doing this. Capital K, capital S, capital Y, capital T. So it's capital Kilo, Sierra, Yankee, Tango. All in higher caps. If you want to join. But I'm not going to play for long because I haven't eaten all day, and well, I've ate a little bit but not great, and I've got to grab something to eat at some point today. Otherwise I'm going to just like pass out from not eating at all. Let's see, that wasn't too bad actually. It is almost more or less full. Come on Kev, drive a bit closer. Trailer. The pipe. That's it. Oh, okay. Mars landing. Really? Oh, is that like a new series? An actual physical landing on Mars? Don't have the boat actually. No, just wait till it's full. B cover. Oops. Cover that one over. Get down to the bottom of this hill. Yeah, if you haven't got it already, Sinky, you just need the version 1.1 of the same version I did on the mod showcase. There is a newer version which is 1.6, I think. Don't download that. That doesn't work. Well, it does, but I don't like it, so I prefer the 1.1. I know I've heard stuff mentioned, but again, oh come on, Paul. I kind of lost interest in the whole. Is it broken? No, it's just not moving very fast. Lost interest in the whole space program thing. I still like space. I'd love to have a. I'll probably mispronounce it. An orrery. I'd love to have that. I know they still. I think there's a magazine you can buy where you can build your own, but it'll take you like a lifetime to get all the parts you need to build your own. And there's always that problem where even if you do subscribe to it and you get every single copy you get, there's always going to be it where parts are missing or broken or something, and then you're doomed really. You have to oh, why isn't it picking up? Come on. Oh. No. Give me more power. I wonder if that does have an effect, having the tractor so almost broken. It has an effect on the power of the. I wouldn't have thought so. I think it's just because it's the hill. That's what I'm thinking it is. Keep an eye on the old convoy. Come on, tractor, up the hill you get. You're running up that hill, We're running up that road. Oh, they do get more slower as they get more used. I did wonder if that was the case, because it would make sense, because obviously the horsepower of the engine won't be great anymore. It'll be sort of like broken. Though these are very small horsepowers, but I'm sure so it doesn't mind too much on here. This is more of a level playing. Let's check the combine out, make sure it's doing well. Okay, yep. In fact, I timed that quite well. So this one's really knackered. But like I was saying earlier in the stream, they don't see that much physical damage to it. They said something about the hitches, but they don't look too that bad. It just looks a bit duller. It doesn't look as shiny as it was. This is fairly clean. I've washed this before at the beginning of the stream. I washed it down and refilled it with diesel. One good thing is the AI do not crop destroy your crop. Look, it just drove into that crop and it didn't destroy it. This is good because the AI, if they could quite easily destroy a whole thing. Yeah. I vary it now. If I know I'm not going to be driving on bits of field which I know are not important, then I'll have those treads on it or the other treads on it. I vary it. I just I switch it up every now and again. It's like, oh yeah, let's try them treads. But then I just have to remember not to go near the crop. As long as I'm not near the crop, I'm fine. But then I have to just again remember to switching back to narrows when we're going to do crop spraying, stuff like that. Well, that's done. Let's go. Oops. Does it break down once it gets completely knackered? Do you know, Tinky? Once the spanner's completely, or once it gets to 0%, does the tractor just give up and stop working altogether? Not sure. So we're going to find out, because this thing's on like 10%. Mind you, I'm using it for fairly light duty work. But I swear, because this did all the work on, well, plough all the fields while the dirt's just cultivated. But I think the dirt's, because weirdly enough, like I was saying earlier, with the ploughs and the cultivators, the plough was knackered. It went down to 0% halfway through that last field. But it's still ploughed. You could hear the tractor struggling with it, but I think it was still ploughing. I think it just loses its cutting effectiveness, I guess, if what you're saying is true. But it actually does slow down. So they have built some sort of like dynamic into the game, mechanic into the game, which makes the damage a thing rather than just cosmetic. Glad I've got these things, this mod tail now, because if I didn't, it would be a full one now, I suspect, because that's quite a lot with you. But now, I don't know. How much is it? Let's have a look. That's not quite 100,000. I think that's the top limit of the. I think it's the top one limit of 100,000. Let's have a look. Quick ski look. Placement, silos. Capacity 100,000. Yeah. So it wouldn't be quite full yet. I think by the time I've emptied that field, it might be near to 100,000. I could be wrong. Just a dump cement mixer. Whoa. I'm there. What if the tractor then just conked out in the middle of the field? I don't know. It would. It wouldn't. As long as there's a way, because like they've implemented it. You can repair it remotely. If that was your only tractor, you can repair it while it's out in the middle of the field. What would be a nightmare is if it broke down and then you'd have to take it back to the shop to repair it, because then you'd be knackered unless you leased out another tractor and had find a tow bar mod of some sort to tow it back to the, like old Shagger Win did. Well, I made it look like he was pulling a broken down tractor, but we all knew it was fine. That made me laugh because it was like the wheels were locked up. He's like, oh yeah, the wheels are locked up. And it's like, yeah, no, it's because the tractor isn't in a state where it would out of gear. It's still in gear or still in park mode. And if you turn the engine on, then it would still probably have wheels locked up, and it's not a good shot. I would turn my thingy on and off, but means going into them and all that good stuff. Well, Mr. Combine, I'm ready when you are. Whoa, close. I'm interested to see whether this brakes now as a tractor. Just a little bit further forward, please, thank you. Oh, I can't keep up with it. Rusty at karting. Look. I don't know why it's doing that. It's creeping to the right because I'm not using my wheel, I'm just using my keyboard for what I call precision driving. I was trying to get into the habit of using the wheel a bit more. Oh, it's empty. Cool. Drive down the other end of the field again. Jump back in the cab view. Game Kev's gone quiet. It's like he's like taking shifts. It's like Game Kev's like high-fived you as you're coming into the ring, so to speak. Get in the ring! Get in the ring! Now I've got that song stuck in my head. Great. You've now got 2 copyright claims. One's from Katie Bush and one from Guns N' Roses. Right. It's like, Kev, you alright? You got these lumps on your head? Ooh. You're just usual crazy self. Ah, he's back. Welcome back. No. No, I'm not going to bother going up that hill with this load on. I'm just going to take this as is back to the farm. It's a bit of grass, I think, is something there. That might be where I did cut some of it the other day. I would say the other day, the other morning. Do 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 do. One thing I haven't tried with this yet, unlike 15 or 17, I should say. Keep saying 15. You used to be. Hang on, I'm going to try it. Yeah, you still can. You still can put your head through the roof with the track out or the track IR. It's like, wee. Right. .7 hours and it's almost broken. Mind you, I say I've been this has been cultivating. We cultivated all the fields. It was the Fent that did all the real hard work, the plough, I guess. Because I guess ploughing would be more hard work on a tractor than cultivating. I'm only guessing. Someone can go and correct me if I'm wrong. Thing is, this looks more muckier on the inside than the outside. If I go on the outside, this thing actually doesn't look that bad. It looks fairly clean actually on the outside. It's the inside that looks worse. The windows look completely covered in mud. That one. It is now. It is now. Drive. Is it collecting? No, it's not collecting. Why aren't you collecting? Oh, it's not lowered. Idiot, Kev. Try again. I'd load it. Obviously lowered it, then forgot I'd loaded it, so when I pressed V again, brought it back up. Right. Oh, come on. Running up that hill, be running up that road, be running up the building. If I could make a deal with God, I gotta change our places. Again, copyright strike from Kate Bush. Done 16 hours. Yeah, I wonder if it's probably dependent on the. Because you're using the same Fent, aren't you? Was it in that Fent, the same Fent we're using, or another a bigger tractor? Or you just mean real life? Because ours are strange, because I remember with a forklift at work, it's ticking over whether you're doing anything or not on the truck. But it's just sitting there, and you're actually not doing anything while the ignition's on. It's still ticking up hours. Mind you, our forklift truck's knackered at work, really is. Well, it's not knackered, it's not in a great state. Hopefully it's been fixed now. Handbrake's been fixed, and last time I went on it. Because that was scary. Well, it wasn't as bad as with the immersive brake wasn't working. That was when it was really fun. Ah, okay. Yeah, so it should technically do. Mind you, again, I wonder it is all dependent on what you do with the tractor, on how many hours you get out of it. Because if the harder you work it, obviously the more it's going to brake quicker. the more you just drive around in it, it's not going to obviously wear so much on. Like in real life, really. Come on, tractor. No, the combine's full, I think. I need to get to it. I'm hoping that's not in the drain. You're running up that hill, running up that road, you're running up that building. Right. Still got 4 people watching. Ooh. So it's Kevin, Sinky, I don't know who the other 2 are. Quiet bystanders. Just listening to my friendly radio style voice. I've fallen asleep, one of the 2. I remember when I first started getting a lot of comments, the first couple of comments I remember getting is, oh, your voice makes me fall asleep. I'm like, okay. Go right back down the other end again, although I don't know. Let's have a look. Yeah, I still reckon we're going to probably need to empty him again at some point. The tractor's still ploughing along. I like these tyres actually. I don't know how really, like I was saying earlier, I don't know how practical they would really use them on a real farm or not. I'd say they're more road tyres than using on field tyres. I just get a hunch, but I could be wrong. Because they've got a fair amount of grip on them. They look like a sort of like a proper off-roading tyre, but I'd say probably just general off-roading rather than trying to dig through a muddy, horrible field. Like these ones, you see, these ones look more geared up for muddy, horrible fields. Yeah, that's what my gut's telling me too. I think, though typically I don't think the farm would bother. If he's just got a set of these on it, and he just needs to drive it down the road or whatever, isn't it right? Well, rather than change out the wheels only to change them out again down the other end, I might as well just drive with these on and just put up with the road noise. Because I suspect these would probably make quite a lot of loud road noise. I know on the old Landies they used to, and they had something similar on the old Land Rovers, used to be quite noisy on the roads. Mind you, so did the old proper off-roading tyres. They tend to be quite noisy on the roads, but not as noisy as these tyres would be, I guess. Oh, almost cut up that guy. That Volvo. Well, it looks like a Volvo anyway. It could be a Passat. Up we go. Offload the straw. Must be a fair amount of straw by now, I bet. Yeah. That's what I suspect. I suspect these would be a bit noisy, where those other ones would be less noisy. But again, I guess it's dependent on the speed. If they're driving top whack, it's going to obviously be noisy. But so typically, I don't think many track, because obviously the road noise really starts to come into play once you get over 60, don't it? Really. Anything under 60 you can hear a bit, but it's not really bad. So once you get onto the motorway or dual carriageway, you tend to find that the road noise becomes unbearable. Now is that down or up? Down now. I should have came the other way around actually. Well, let's go up and round again. Come on. Go, move, don't quit on me, just keep going. I wonder if that's like it's representing the gearbox having trouble trying to get up the hill. It's like, yeah, my gearbox is knackered. Please repair me now. And then you'd thought they'd have associated certain noises like gearbox crunch and like certain noises the engine makes, certain weird funky noises if it's getting to a certain point. Like this engine's not working anymore, so it starts misfiring and popping and banging. I'll probably cut that too fine. I bet modders would probably implement that into some of their mod tractors. Once it gets to a certain percentage of damage, it'll start letting you know it's tired and it needs repairing. I.e. when you go over a bump or something, there'll be a large thud, like the suspension's knackered, or again it'll pop and bang like it needs repairing, or you'll just find it randomly breaks down on you or starts cutting out, like on ETS and ATS. Once it gets to a certain level of engine broken or certain amount of damage on your truck, you start getting random engine failures. That's quite good looking at on the telemetry. Once I did that, well, once I've watched the oil pressure go right up through the roof when I damaged it once. Why is it not collecting? No, I didn't have it. I've done it again. You watch the oil pressure go right up, or the engine temperature go right up through the roof. And I ran it into a wall accidentally. Yeah, accidentally. It's like, oh yeah, that's what keeps them cooking out. The engine temperatures running through the roof, so it's probably blowing the head gasket or something along those ilks. Yeah, it could be a clutch slip, yeah. Could be right, could be a clutch slipping. Don't necessarily have to be the gearbox. These are all sort of like, well, this, I think it's an manual on this, yeah. It's a manual. Newer ones would be auto boxes, wouldn't they? Or sort of half auto boxes. Synchro shifts or whatever they call them. But I bet it's good ideas for the modders. Another good idea for a modder would be, if one's listening at any point, make me a custom tractor with my logo on it, please. I actually was it on my mod testing farm. I was driving around with all colour coordinated tractors, all the ones I could find that could spray. Let's see how the combine's doing. Bring that up. Oh, is it full? It is full. I need to bring it out of the crop though. I wasn't that far out at the end of the field. Wasn't that long then. Excuse me. Probably not going to get much in here. Ding. Cover N G N. It's a bit to start off the combine. Stop. Right. Combine's looking like it's seen better days. It's not as clean as it was before. Doesn't look overly damaged though. The blade doesn't look overly bad damaged, but I haven't been using it that much. Maybe once I've been using it for a while, it might look a bit more used. A bit more used and abused, so to speak. Right. Back in the tractor. Oh. That was right. The engine didn't cut out on me. It just, I switched it off. Now, is that because the lights are on? Just trying to figure out what that little symbol is. Oh, it's the reversing. Yeah. I've just spotted that. I thought there was an check engine light come on or something. Another thing, again, modders could think up of other ways, like having other things they could think up of that ways of the tractor letting you know, like power steering noising and sort of making noises as you spin the wheel. It goes grrr, or all that stuff like that. Lots of things they could potentially do. Like the Fent, say the Fent on 15, the one that used to have the that's one of my favourite tractors. It did get a bit old over time though, was the fact that you had the animation as you're getting in and out of the tractor. That I like that a lot. Oops. Dead foot strikes again. Even on empty I can feel it sort of like struggling to pull off. Mind you, you've got big trailers sat on the back, but then it's never done that well. Not that I know of. Never been that slow on acceleration. He's almost done on this field as well. So it doesn't take long to harvest. Probably over an hour and a bit to harvest these whole fields. It takes longer to cultivate them and seed them. Mind you, I won't have to plough this time round. I definitely have to fertilise. That's on the wrong side, aren't I? Just drive up wrong this side of him. Or her. Do 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 do. I reckon I probably won't need the second trailer. Come on. Oh, it's lost all its power. Move, come on, go. How do we track that? Cool. Drive this back to the farm. Now I don't know whether to risk putting. I'm going to risk putting a cultivator on it. Actually, I'm going to have to fertilise the fields first, aren't I? At least one of them, anyway. Okay, Mr. Volvo driver. Don't indicate then. I don't know if he did or didn't. I didn't see him indicate. They'll go back on the ramp again. Whoopsie. Another thing, flat tyres. I'm sure there was a modern actually on 17 that had tyre that actually had tyre wear. Where the tyres literally become flat, and it just, although it wouldn't actually show a flat tyre animation. I think the tractor would pull wildly to the right or the left. I can't remember. I know seeing it once. I was going to do it, install it, and then I never got round to it. I installed the oil mods. I've got to. It's one thing. I was just like got all that ready for 17, and then I've more or less abandoned 17 for the time being. We're going to park this. Yes, I'm going to need this slurry here. So they can start slurrying that field over there. If it breaks down, it breaks down. Might as well make a start on slurrying fields. Guys, spreading the old muck all over the place. Cool, that's that done. Right, where was we? Here. Now, let's see if this thing's got enough power, oomph, to get back up the hill. Be running up that hill, be running up that hill. Start moving. Bring that down, bring that down. No! It's still moving just, it didn't completely come to a stop. It almost did. Right, I'll do this one last run on when this is full, and then I'll call it an end of the day for the stream. Come on. Come on. Come on, Dirts. Climb the hill. Almost there. Yeah. No. Look at that, bang on halfway up the hill. You couldn't time that better, could you? It was literally right up on the top of the crest of the hill, more or less. But if one of them does break, I'll obviously let you know. Oh, I've gone too far, idiot. I'll let you know by either the next recording or the next live stream or whatever comes first. That was my fault really. I pulled in front of him. Oops, keep hitting wrong key. Oops. Oops. Wrong key simulator. Oh, I'm still indicating as well. That's auto cancellation. That's another mod that's essential. I'll let that do its funky thing. Switch the engine off and I'll continue the rest of that off screen. But I hope you guys and girls all enjoyed the stream. Big thank you to everyone that's turned up to the stream, if they're watching and commenting and taking part, and big thank you to Sinky for mediating through the stream as well. If you haven't done already, peeps, please go and check out his channel. And I'll hopefully see you guys in the next stream, if not in the next recording. But if you guys and girls did enjoy both the stream and the good night Sinky, both the stream and if you're watching it in the archives, if you enjoyed watching the archive as well, please don't forget to like. If you know anyone else that may also enjoy watching it again, guys and girls, please feel free to share. It helps me out a lot and I don't mind sharing. And if you didn't like this for any reason, again guys and girls, please feel free to dislike, but leave a comment down below to why you didn't like it, so can I try to improve in the future. I'll see you in the next one. TTFN and have a good evening.